And I have done my concealer, and this is the NARS Copacabana is the color, and this is probably my 4th tube of this. I love it. So I do use a brush. This is, I don't know exactly, this is from Shiseido, and you can see it's kind of angled, and the bristles are a little more stiff, and I like this one for applying these liquid and cream highlighters. I think it does a better job, and it's short. You can see that it's not a tall stick. And I don't remember where I got it, to be honest with you, and it may have just come with another product, but I've had this for several years. So anyhow, I like to apply that right here to my cheekbones. I do it across the top of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose. Hit that Cupid's bow on your way down. Get that jawline. And you're basically going to put this anywhere that light would naturally reflect off of your face. And you can see, again, I'm sorry about my lighting, but I do have an overhead light on, and you can see that that's hitting certain points of my face. And that's actually kind of helpful for someone who's just beginning to play with these products, because when you have a lamp sitting above you, you can tell the points that the light tends to reflect off of your face, and you just apply it to those. And I give it a quick little rub down. And then I go in, for several years now, have been using the Bare Minerals, and I really, really like it. I use their powder foundation, which is kind of a loose powder. I'm sure you guys have all seen this by now. And let me try to get it up on that. Is it going to focus? There we go. I use this in the medium beige, and this is, they have a couple of different ones, but this is the Bare Minerals Original, and I think they have like a matte, and I think they have, I don't remember what the other one is, but I know they do have a matte. I like the original because it is kind of the best of both worlds. And Bare Minerals also sells a brush that is made for their specific powdered foundations. And it's really a cool looking brush. And I was kind of on the fence, should I, shouldn't I? I went for it. Love it. And this is what it looks like right here. It has their logo, or it has their name on it. And I don't know if you can see this, but it's got a little indentation. It's got a little kind of well in the middle of it. So it's really, it's designed to pick up their product. And I was on the fence, like I said. It was kind of spendy, and I thought, well, do I really, you know, I've got brushes that I use. So I kind of dotted around my neck, and then in circular motions, there's really no rhyme or reason to why I do what I do. Also, I approach life that way. So, and then you can see I have about that much product in the lid. You dump it out from this into the lid, and then you just kind of swirl it around a little bit, and then tap off the excess. And I move my brush around. You can see I'm tapping it at different points around the base of my brush, just to make sure the product coats my brush evenly. And then I even go in on my face and kind of pat it around like this, and then I start to blend it. I'm always amazed at the faces we make whenever we're putting on makeup. We make the goofiest faces. I have been using, I flip back and forth depending on if I have a fake tan, the time of the year, what the weather is doing. Right now, one thing I do use is I always use a matte bronzer, and believe it or not, it's really difficult to find a matte bronzer. It seems like everything has at least a little bit of a sheen to it. So right now I am using NYX right here, their matte bronzer right here, and I am using the color medium. It's 03 is the number, and this is what it looks like. Anyhow, so this is the brush that I'm using. It says it right there, and it is flat, and the bristles are not super long. They're kind of short and stubby, so they can pick up a lot of product, and whenever you apply it, it doesn't flick everywhere. so you can really kind of concentrate it to one area. So I'm going to go in, because I've done this a million times, so I know where mine goes. And you don't want to go all the way down to your mouth and Joker your face. You're going to keep it right up here close. So I go in and I kind of press it into my skin. On my little tiny baby hairs. And then I'll kind of proceed to rub it. So that way, do you see the difference between, sometimes I'll drag it down just a little bit, but do you see the difference between this side and this side? So, no. Yes. So we're going to move that around a little bit. Let's do some blush. This is, I've got several blushes, but I found myself over the past probably 6 or 7 months using this one all the time. And this is by Too Faced. Again, I'm sorry, my packaging is not pristine, but I use my shit. So this is Too Faced right here. And this is their Sweetheart blushes. And I'm trying to see, it's like, it's so used up. I'm trying to see what color this is. It just says Perfect. I think this one's the Perfect Peach. See how pretty it is? And there's like a pink, a really pretty pink. And then there's a peachy color. And I use these a lot. And then there's a super kind of orangey peach color down here. And I tend to kind of swirl them all together, but obviously you can tell that I'm using these two the most, these two peach colors. So anyhow, I am going to take a brush that I think I got this in a just like really inexpensive set from Walmart, or maybe even CVS, but this is my favorite blush brush ever, and I don't know where to find them. It's actually a powder brush, but it's kind of small, so I use it for my blush. And it just says Face Secrets, and then it says powder next to it to show that it's a powder brush, but it's just, that's what it looks like. And I just swirl it around, and if you want more pink, then of course you would put your brush up towards the pink end, but I tend to go a little more peachy because I have so much red to my skin as it is. And then, again, tap, tap, tap. So you're going to smile at yourself because you're beautiful. And you're going to put it on the apples of your cheek right here. Right here. You guys can probably see better on this side. I go right above my, where I put my contour or my bronzer. And you do to the side mouth. And you're basically going to blend that blush into the very top of your contour. Well, somebody called my cell phone in the middle of it, and it totally disconnected my my previous videos. And brows. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows. And I just bought one of these cheap little things. I actually think I got it at Family Dollar. I think I got this at a Family Dollar for $1. But yeah, so I'm gonna do my eyebrows first. And everyone was raving about Anastasia. Anastasia has the best brow products, and I thought, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and drink the Kool-Aid. Speaking of drink, I've been off soda for so long, and this is my first one in like a week and a half because I've been trying to eat so clean and it's killing me. So my shame is for all the world to see. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's so sweet. It's so good. Anyhow, so I drank the Kool-Aid, went out, bought me this palette, and of course I got the one that is in blonde, and this is the Beauty Express. Here's what the front of it looks like. And the packaging, it's really textured, and it's just really kind of swanky and a little sexy black dress type packaging. I really like it. And it's really cool because it has different brow looks. So whatever your face is, or whatever mood you're in, whatever your eye shape is, this has something for everyone. And here's what the actual, it comes with this really nice little brush that I'll show you in a second. But here's what mine looks like. It's got a wax. It's got a kind of dual toned actual brow powder. And then it has a another, like a highlight. And one is kind of a matte color on this side, and the other one's really shimmery on that side. And it also, which I think is really, really neat. Let me pull this out of the package here. They're kind of stuck down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 different, essentially stencils. And what you can do is you can pick out, oh, I'm so tongue-tied today. You can pick out which one you want. And they all have, like, you know, this says, there we go, high arch, full arch, slim high arch. So there's all different ones. And you poke the plastic out. There we go. That's what it looks like. And it's kind of in 2 sections. I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm trying to get it. Okay, there we go. So you have one section, and then there is like a divider, and then there is the tail. And what you can do is you take the one that you want and you just line it up on your brow, and you essentially just kind of use that as a guide, and you is what it looks like. And you can see the, like, it's not even the length of my hand, and I have super petite hands. So anyhow, we are, I usually have a box of tissues that I keep, along with Q-tips and some tweezers and other little kind of cleanup things that I keep on my little makeshift vanity. So what I do is I take a tissue and I make sure, because you use the same brush for everything. You use the same brush for your wax, for your product, everything. So what I do is I wipe it off, and then I pinch it. I pinch it and I kind of pull it out so the bristles go back together, because sometimes they get kind of like wonky and go all different directions. So anyhow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this wax first. And I just go side to side. So I go side to side like this and get some wax on there. And I am going to use their mirror. And again, I've got, I'm going to steady my hand by putting my elbow on the counter. Oh, this mirror is not good. Come on, Anastasia. We need to, I'm going to start right here at the end, and I'm just going to work my way down. And then whenever I kind of get to where I'm going to draw the tail of my brow, I kind of flip it over and go this way. So I'm flat up to here and then flip and down. And it's just kind of a fluid movement. Or you can do these little stencils. Like I said, you can use one of the stencils if that's your preference. It allows your powder to adhere to your brows, and it just holds it longer. I've done just brow powders on my brow. Today, what is wrong with me? My mouth. They're not connecting my brain and my mouth. So anyhow, sometimes I do ombre eyebrows, which we'll do that if you guys want to see some different colors. I do pinks and purples. I do blues and teals. Sometimes I just feel like I want to do something crazy, and I do. So anyhow, I'm going to go in with the brow color, and I kind of do a swirling motion, and I just, there, and I can see, I just kind of mix the two, and then what do I do? Tap. Tap the excess off, get my mirror, and I basically I follow the same kind of motion that I did with my wax. I'm going to start right here, and now when you do your brows, you absolutely do not want to have, or maybe you do, again, personal preference. You do what you find to look good, what appeals to you. There's really no rule, but there are rules. And you really are not supposed to have them kind of uniform, because when your brows grow, they're a little bit kind of sparse at the head of your brow. So what I do is I start just a little bit behind the head of my brow, and then whatever product is left on my brush, I go in and I put a little bit there, because you want it to kind of gradually get darker. And your eyebrows, in my opinion, should never look like a comma. So you want nice, pretty, kind of straight with arches. And you know what? If your brows grow like a comma, do it. Rock it. My eyebrows grow kind of off center. I swear they're not even. So that is my biggest hurdle, is trying to make them the same height, make them the same shape. The next thing that we're going to move on to is the star of this tutorial, and that is the original Naked palette. Anyhow, I'm going to go in with your eyeshadow primer. Don't ever, 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 ever use eyeshadow without primer. This is my all-time favorite primer. I've used several primers. This is the one that works best for me. I do not have oily skin. I have dry skin. So keep in mind, whenever I use certain products, I have pale skin, I have sensitive skin, and I have extremely dry skin. It's not old to be 40, but a lot of people just don't think I look my age. Certainly don't act it. But anyhow, so here's the Urban Decay that I like to use. And this is just the eyeshadow primer potion, and this is just the original, and it's my all-time favorite. It has a little bit of a color to it, almost like a concealer would. Here, I'm going to put some on my finger and I'm going to show you guys. So do you see that? So it has a little bit of a color like a concealer would, and I think I like it so much because of that, because I feel like it, and a lot of times I do stuff on my tear duct. Well, every time I do something on my tear duct, so I will pull a little bit right there in my tear duct. But I feel like since it has that kind of flesh tone to it, and even on darker skins, this would be beautiful, because it is such a neutral color that it actually allows your eyeshadows to go on a little more pigmented, and the color is a little more true than if you used a clear. So I'm going to take my MAC 221, and you can see the bristles on this are beautiful. Look at that. Perfect for crease. It's just a nice, it's really long, but it's just got a nice, the taper on this is beautiful. This is a beautiful, beautiful brush. So I'm going to take my MAC 221, and I am going to go in, what am I going to use today? What do I feel like? I think I'm going to do the dirty, grungy kind of, I'm going to go in with Naked right here, this color. And it's just a really pretty matte brown, and it's nice and light, and it'll be a very good transition color. So I'm going to go in with MAC 221. I'm going to use this chintzy little NARS mirror again, because I think my kids either broke or took mine. And I'm going to go right into the crease, and I am just going to kind of windshield wiper this, and I'm just going to go back and forth in the crease. And then I'm going to kind of do circles around. Let me prime under my eyes. I hadn't anticipated going in under, but anyhow, going back in with that same brush and that same buck color, or that, I'm sorry, Naked. We're going to do buck next, I think. We're going to go in with that same Naked color, and we're just going to go, I'm going to pull my waterline down just a little bit, or my lower lid down just a little bit, and because I don't want to flick a bunch of powder into my eye and make it water, and then all of this work is for naught. So I'm going to go in with this ELF, and this is it's the Professional Blending Eye Brush, and it's the white one. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of fading. So I am going to go in now with Buck, and I am just going to kind of deepen that crease color up using the same motion as before. Basically everything I do in the crease, I'm going to do on the lower lash. We've done that in our crease. Every color that we've used in our crease, we have pulled down and put it on our lower lash line. So now we are going to go in. The palette came with its own brush, and it just says shadow brush, and everything else has come off because I've used it so much. But this is the brush that the palette came with, and it's just a really pretty, you can see, just a flat, really nice looking brush. So I'm just going to go in with that and make sure that I'm going to get a tissue, make sure all the product is wiped off, and it is. It's nice. I try to keep my brushes as clean as I can. And I am going to go in with this beautiful, beautiful dirty brown color called Smog. And as you can see, you can already see like the metal in the bottom of this pot because I use it so much. So I'm going to go in with that Smog. I'm going to get some product on my brush. Here we go. I am going to, let me get in here where you guys can see. I'm going to pat this on my lid like this. Now, this will sometimes have some fallout, so you can also get you a tissue and either, you can use tape, but if you've already done your foundation and your concealer, it's obviously going to rip it off. So what you can do is fold a Kleenex kind of over, and you can hold it underneath and pat the product like this, so the fallout will just go right onto the tissue, and you really don't risk, see, you don't risk losing any of your makeup because we have primed and we've complexion prepped our skin. All right, I'm gonna get some more Smog on here. I'm gonna go back on this side, do the same. Oh, that's so beautiful, you guys. And then I'm going to go in with that Smog, and what I did is I just got it on the very tip of my brush like this. I took it, just got it right on the tip, tap off the excess, and then I'm just going to go in on the bottom here. I'm just going to run it across that lash line there. So everything you're doing on the top, you're doing on the bottom. Damn, that's so pretty. Beautiful colors. Okay, I am going to take a fluffier brush. Let's use this one. This looks good. This is, I think, an It. Oh man, everything's so faded out. Okay, this is a 105 by It from Ulta. And that's what that looks like. And there's what it looks like in the end. Very, very fluffy and very pretty. So I'm going to go in and I am going to take, let's do Dark Horse. Let's do Dark Horse and let's mix Hustle. We're going to mix Dark Horse, which is this color. And I loved this color so much. I use it as a liner color. I loved it so much. I was so afraid they were going to discontinue this palette and I wasn't going to get it. I went and bought an individual like pot of it. It's beautiful. So we're going to mix Dark Horse and we're going to mix this kind of like dusty purpley color. We're going to mix those two together and we're just going to see what happens. And then we are just going to put this right here on the outer corner. We're going to go in really lightly because I don't know what the two of those together are going to look like. Okay, that looks really good. Okay, so we're just going to give it a little swirl, bring it up. So we're basically just kind of doing the outer V. And with whatever you have left, you're going to bring it just into the crease, just a little bit. You want the outside to be darker than the inside. Bring that in. We're going to do that again. We're going to go in with Dark Horse and Hustle. We're going to mix those up a little bit, and we're going to do the same thing. And sometimes I wear false lashes, just totally thinking ahead here, because my lashes are so blonde and so stubby and they just don't stay curled. So, okay, we're going to go back in with those same two darker colors. And we're going to do this. I think I'm just going to do it on the outer, like maybe third of my eye. And here's where we're looking. Again, my lighting is shit. But, okay. Let me take, I'm going to take a small brush. This is the ELF concealer brush, but I tend to use this for batten cleanup on my eyebrows, my tear duct. I really, really, really like this brush, and I think I have like 3 or 4 of these because, like I said, you find a product that you like and they always end up doing away with it. So I'm going to go in with the lightest color in this palette. It's called Virgin, and I am going to kind of just go right under my brows and just highlight a little bit. Do the same on the other side. So I'm going to go in with my ELFs, and it's just the smudge brush. And that's what it looks like. It's just a typical short, stubby. It's really dense. And just, I don't know, it's like a freaking wallflower of brushes that's all, so it doesn't want to like go out and play, you know? They're all together. So I am going to take that brush, and I'm going to take my favorite black liner of all time, and it is the NYX SPE 901, and I have 1,000 liners in every color. This is always my go-to, and I'll try new stuff, and they're good, but this is my favorite liner ever, and it's so reasonably priced. NYX Cosmetics has some great options. So I am going to grab my little janky mirror here, and I am going to go in with this NYX, and I am just going to pop this right on my lash line. And you don't have to be precise with this because we're fixing to smudge the shit out of it. So here we go. It is in the day. I don't think I'm going to do a wing. I think I'm just going to leave it kind of dirty, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And if you can, my allergies are going bananas. I told you guys the weather here has been rainy one day, icy the next, snowy, and then it's like, no joke, it's been like 74, 75 degrees the next day. It's crazy. It's all over the place. And then I'm going to take my smudge brush, and I'm going to close the eye that I'm working on. I'm going to close it. And I'm just going to smudge that. And this process sometimes takes a while. All right, I'm going to go in on the other side. Do the same thing. Now, let's, on the bottom, I'm going to go into my waterline here and pull it down. And I am going to toss some of this on there. Do the same thing, obviously, on this eye. Sorry, I'm trying to stay in focus. I keep like leaning down here because I tend to use my elbow as a rest, like I said, so things can be a little more precise. And there we go. Awesome. And then I am going to take my lost smudge brush, okay, my found smudge brush, and I'm going to put just a little bit of this on the tip. I'm going to put a little bit of this liner there, right on the tip. And I am going to, just right here on that outer part, I'm going to pop just a little. I know it doesn't look like much, but it does make a big difference. It makes a huge difference. Okay. Then we are going to, and usually, I know it sounds really weird, but I feel like since my lashes are so short and stubby, and I am using a MAC curler, just their basic black eyelash curler, and I usually stick this like in my thighs whenever I start my makeup, and I just kind of hold it down there in between my thighs because there's a lot of heat there and it warms it up. And I feel like a warm eyelash curler will curl your lashes better, and I think it holds the curl longer. And I'm going to grab, I have 1,000 mascaras because I have such short, stubby lashes. And I was using the Unique false fiber lashes, but it kept getting my eyes. And I loved the look of it. But after just a few hours, like I said, everything is, I am a sensitive human on the outside, but also on the inside. Boink. So what do I have here? I'm just going to grab the first mascara I come to. And it's a new one that I have not used yet called NYX Pinup Tease. And it just says individual plus curl. It is in 02. It's all of my mascaras, aside from like a colored one, they're going to be just straight up black. I'd never use brown unless I have, like I said, it's black unless I'm using like purple or something like that. Let me try to get in here. I'm just going to curl my lashes, and when I do it, I just kind of start at the base and I give it a few pumps, you can see, and then I just work my way up. And then I immediately go in with my mascara. Ew, look at that brush. Look how pretty that is. Look at that. So I immediately go in with my product or with my mascara right after, because my lashes fall so quickly. And I try to put quite a lot at the base. I don't know if I like this one. I feel like it's like not wanting to come off. Let's use the tip a little bit. That's what she said. And okay. There we go. Maybe this isn't too... Getting it on there is like impossible. Once it's on, it's not too bad, but I don't want to sit here and do mascara for 20 minutes. Note to self. This is not good for my short, stubby lashes. Maybe somebody that has long lashes this might work on, but I'm not a fan of this. And see, look, already my lashes are falling. Lips. I am going to stick with kind of a more neutral lip since it is during the... I have been using this brand and this color for ages. This is Rimmel's East End or East End Snob. It's 063 and it is a beautiful... out. The MPL 22. This one's pretty in pink. So we're just going to go in with this one. And I think it said it was waterproof. Oh no, I'm seeing shit. It's not. It did not say that. Oh yeah, it does say that. So I am going to draw this on. Oh, that's pretty. It's really neutral. It's like... That's a really, really pretty neutral. And I am going to go about halfway up my lips. I always do. And I just kind of rub my lips together to spread the product evenly. And I think I'm just going to go in with a gloss. Oh, I have one that I really, really like. Oh, I really like this one. It's Ulta has a line of butter balms, and they're so hydrating and they're just smooth, and I love the formula. I love the formula, and you can see I used it with other liners, but a lot of times I will just use a lip liner and a gloss whenever I'm doing kind of a more of a nude lip, or if I have a really dark liner that I like the color of and I don't have a lipstick shade that's going to match it, then I just go in with a neutral or a clear kind, and this is just like a real, like, it's hard for you to see the formula, but it's really iridescent. Can you see that? Yeah, it's really iridescent. So I'm going to go in with this. And I'm going to go all over the lip. Sometimes I'll concentrate to the little, or to the middle. So my lips don't look little. See that? All right. And I think that this is where I am going to finish. I'm going to actually, I feel like my eyebrow on this side, my left, is not, I feel like it needs to come down more. So I am going to take my product again that we used earlier, the same one, and I am just going to kind of intensify that and sharpen it up a little and drag it down a little more. There we go. Yeah, and then we're gonna match this side to it. That's what I needed. Okay. So, everybody who's been on the fence about the naked palettes, because there are so many, there's, you know, the naked 1, 2, and 3, and there's a smoky palette. I really think that the original naked encompasses more of a range of shades, whereas the other ones all seem to kind of stick to the same kind of neutral colors, and then they'll have like a few shimmers, a few mattes, and a few like 1 or 2 really dark colors, like a black at the end of the palette, which most palettes are like that. But I feel like the range of this one is better because you have your beautiful neutral matte browns, but you also have some shimmers that are pink. You have some shimmers that are, I know I keep using the word grungy, but that's what this look is. It's a grungy look and it's a dirty look. And then you have another, you know, like dusty purpley pink. You have one that's the gunmetal color. I think that this has a wider range of colors, whereas the other ones tend to be like all shades of pink or all shades of like gray. And I just, this is, I've got all the palettes, but by far this is my most cherished palette. So hopefully this look right here has inspired some of you guys, and you can kind of see the finished look. And for Blue Eyes, I just think it's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful palette, and I think that you can't go wrong, and I think that you can do such a wide variety of looks. So, finished look. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm brand new to the YouTube world, so if you found this helpful or you just find me extremely pleasant to watch, make sure to like my page, subscribe, comment below with anything that you guys would like to see. I'm going to have kind of a hodgepodge of makeup and cooking tutorials, because those are the 2 things that I'm into. Also, occasionally I'll put up videos and photos of my children acting foolish because they're hilarious little humans. And I will see you soon. Thank you.